When Oscar Wilde published The Picture of Dorian Gray in 1890, it ignited a firestorm of controversy. Critics accused it of being corrupting and immoral, while others called it a masterpiece of Gothic literature. But what makes this novel so enduringly powerful isn't just its scandalous reputation. It's the way it delves into the deepest parts of human desire and self-destruction. This is the story of a man who bargained his soul for eternal youth and beauty, only to discover the devastating cost of that deal. Dorian Gray is a young man blessed with extraordinary good looks. His beauty becomes a source of inspiration for Basil Hallward, an artist who paints a stunning portrait of him. Basil sees Dorian as the epitome of perfection, but for Dorian, the painting becomes something far more sinister. Enter Lord Henry Wotton, a charismatic and provocative figure who introduces Dorian to a new philosophy, that the only things worth pursuing in life are pleasure and beauty. Lord Henry's words awaken a fear in Dorian, the fear of losing his youth, the one thing that defines his charm and allure. In a moment of vanity and desperation, Dorian makes a wish, that he could remain forever young, while the portrait bears the marks of time and his sins. To his astonishment, the wish comes true. As Dorian dives into a hedonistic lifestyle, indulging in every pleasure and vice, the portrait begins to change. It grows grotesque, reflecting the corruption of his soul, while Dorian himself remains outwardly perfect. This unnatural exchange allows him to avoid the consequences of his actions, or so he thinks. Oscar Wilde's novel masterfully explores themes of aestheticism, morality, and the duality of human nature. The unchanging beauty of Dorian's face contrasts with the decaying image in the portrait, symbolizing the clash between external appearances and internal reality. Dorian's descent into moral degradation is marked by cruelty, betrayal, and even murder. Yet, despite the growing horror in the portrait, he cannot bring himself to change his ways. The painting becomes a chilling reminder of the price he's paying for his vanity and selfishness, a price he refuses to acknowledge until it's too late. The climax of the story is as haunting as it is inevitable. In a moment of rage and despair, Dorian decides to destroy the portrait, believing it to be the source of his torment. But when he plunges a knife into the canvas, it's not the painting that suffers. It's Dorian himself. His servants later find his lifeless body, aged and withered, unrecognizable except for his clothes. The portrait, meanwhile, has returned to its original form, untouched and beautiful, as if to underscore the weight of Dorian's tragic choices. The Picture of Dorian Gray is more than just a story about a cursed portrait. It's a profound meditation on the dangers of vanity, the influence of others, and the consequences of living without moral boundaries. Wilde's timeless tale forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about our own desires and the masks we wear to hide them. As Oscar Wilde famously wrote, "The books that the world calls immoral are books that show the world its own shame." And through Dorian Gray, Wilde holds a mirror to both his era and ours, daring us to look deeper. Thank you for watching. And if this story intrigues you, consider diving into Wilde's masterpiece to experience its chilling beauty firsthand. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.